everybody, and welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
My name's Travis.
And Travis?
I'm wearing the wrong shirt.
Yeah, but, it's sort of in memory of the previous episode. We record these, most of you probably know this at this point, we usually record 2 of these back to back. So you didn't have a chance to change into your mono green shirt. So, and I did not wear my Nope shirt. I just realized I should have worn that.
Why would you
and
not
then
wear your Nope
completely
shirt?
covered it up with my hoodie anyway.
Exactly.
So, yeah. What am I saying? What are we doing? We are...
finals now, isn't it?
Yes, the finals of the
2021.
Take it away.
For the 2021 Challenger Decks. Today we have Azorius Control. I'm not sure if that's the actual name, but that's what I feel like it should be called.
That is what it's called, yeah.
Voices versus simply titled Mono Green Stompy. I gotta say, man, having seen that deck in action, it has the great combination of card draw, card filtering, and actual counter spells in a blue deck.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough to beat.
And a fair amount of removal as well, too.
What?
Yeah. I was surprised at the amount of removal in this sort of thing. So we'll see, because this deck took down Mono Red. The first time in Challenger Deck history that Mono Red has not made it to the finals, which...
It was close.
Yeah.
It was... Go watch that video if you haven't. I'm sure you have. If you're watching it, you probably watch that one, but it was close.
So at some point, whoever wins here is going to be in a battle of champions against the previous champion that battled out against Mono Red versus Mono Red.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and find out what deck that is, because I don't remember who won that particular episode, but I will definitely check that out. Now, before we begin, shoutouts.
Right, you got the cool...
Yeah, because you know the effects. So this week, I want to shout out to Robin Reborn. I'm almost 100% sure that's not your real name, but Robin Reborn for the suggestion of adding Ruin Crabs to the Dimir deck after the Dimir deck didn't quite make it.
You know,
it was close, but
it showed some heat. And that first match was like, what happened?
I enjoyed playing it as well too, which is also quite nice. I was disappointed, obviously, but yeah, the Ruin Crabs, which are on screen right now, would be a nice addition to it, because I felt that maybe not go for a full-on mill strategy with that deck, but I wish there was a quicker way to get you to 8 cards in your graveyard with the Dimir deck, because that's what sets that deck off.
It's a magic number.
Yeah. So Ruin Crabs, one of the few types of crabs that benefit you in some way, other than the ones that you eat. Those ones are delicious.
Chock full of iodine, but
Anyways, but thank you very much, Robin Reborn, for that suggestion. And that is the end of shoutouts. Travis.
Yes, sir.
Are we done talking?
I think it's time to roll.
Yes. Now neither of us had a mulligan, correct?
No, I mulliganed.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah, you did. I'm sorry to hear that.
But, in the end, I'm definitely happy with what I got. Just one.
Just by one. Isn't it annoying when you lose something by just one? Like a one?
Too soon, good sir. Too soon.
So you are down to 6 cards. Our cards are currently being shown on the screen. We obviously don't get a sideboard right off the bat. So these are the original decks without any sideboarded cards. Now you get to go first because you won the roll.
Yep.
And go at her.
Forest, my mono green deck. No turn 1 guy. There is a turn 1 guy in here. It's not great. Yeah.
I can't remember what it is. It's like it's a 1/1 tracker or something like that.
Yeah, if you control a human, he does something. I would give him a handshake, and if he blocks, he gets +1. It's not crazy. It's not like it's some of those mono red fervent champions.
I'm gonna play an island. Past you.
Gotta draw my first mystery card. Ooh, it's pretty good. I will play my second forest.
Nice.
I got a tough choice here. I got 2 drops. And bear with me a second here while I double check which is the better one.
Take your time. I want you to think long and hard about your 2 drops.
That you're going to put in my bin pretty soon, or in a glass casket or something else.
You never know what's going to happen with this deck. Maybe I'll just counter it. Who knows?
You know what? I kind of want to play this guy. So whether it's the best player or not of the 2, I'm playing with Sir Farron, the Hedgemaster. Hedgehammer. Much more intimidating than the Hedgemaster. And his Hengehammer. Anyhow, he's a human knight. When he attacks, another target attacking creature gets +X, where X is Sir Finn's power. That's kind of weird, because it seems like one of the ones from Throne of Eldraine, where it's like his power toughness was equal to your devotion. I'm not thinking. No, that wasn't. That was in fact obviously Theros. Theros was devotion set. So that's why he doesn't have that ability. Different set.
No card. I have no idea what card you're talking about, but
well,
I believe you.
That Annex guy from the mono red deck, whose power was equal to my devotion to red. So I thought.
Yeah, so a card like that, but you're not sure what the card. Okay.
Yeah, but no, this one's obviously a different set.
Yeah.
No haste though. On my 2/2 dude.
You're green.
Yeah.
Green card. Okay,
Green
so my turn.
Haste on occasion.
I, good sir, am going to play a Plains. And then I, good sir, I'm going to put your card in a glass casket. It's an artifact. When glass casket enters the battlefield, exile target creature and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or less until glass casket leaves the battlefield.
It's a giant bear. How you put that in a casket?
There you go. Is it a bear or is it a mastiff? It was a bear. I thought it was a mastiff, but it's not. It's a bear.
Oh, it's a 2/2 for 2.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I guess it's the person riding the bear or not really riding it, more like leaning on it. Yeah. That's a tough man.
The bear won't let me ride it, but he's okay with me leaning on it.
I will pass the turn out to you. So.
In his defense, it's more than the bears have let me do to it, so. Untap, draw.
And trust me, Travis has tried doing some crazy things to bears in his day. So,
Woo.
Oh yeah, when we were younger.
So, I'm going to play one of these flip cards. It's the Kalini Ambush. It's the fight one.
Okay.
So, it's going to enter tapped, but it's going to be there.
It's there.
It's there, entering tapped. And then I have another turn 2 choice, which is tap 2 to attempt to cast. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cast it, whether it's 6th round. It's the Scavenging Ooze.
Ooh.
Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, play a +1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and I gain 1 life. That's an ability for 1 green mana. Otherwise, he's a 2/2.
Nice.
So maybe I baited you with the not as awesome creature. Maybe I did. Maybe I just had a bear on it. I went for it.
Yeah, because of the CMC, I could have used glass casket on that, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it my turn?
Your turn.
Okie dokie. I'm going to play Plains. I tap for 3, and I'm going to Banishing Light your Scavenging Ooze. Now, we haven't seen it in this match, so Banishing Light is an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. So
I was kind of confident he had a second one because he didn't hesitate at all to put that first one in the casket.
I just feel like
you're ramping out nicely. Turn 2, turn 3.
Yeah, it's working out well. It's working out well so far. We'll see what happens because this is not a creature-heavy deck. So I'll pass the turn to you. I'm very curious how it's going to handle your non-stop onslaught of creatures.
Now I play land and regret having done that. I'll tap these 3 for the Kazun Mammoth. Kazandu Mammoth. He's a giant elephant. Pretty big. Well, not a giant. He's a big elephant. Like giant elephant.
One might call him Mammoth.
Mammoth.
Yeah.
2 green, 1 of anything for a 3/3. And he also has landfall. When a land enters the battlefield under my control, he gets +2/+2 to end turn. Nice. And he's actually another one of those flip cards. I think the other one is just entering tap, though.
So on your next turn, he could be a 5/5. Briefly.
Yeah, briefly. Yeah. If I have a land. Does not have haste. I pass to you.
Okay. It's weird playing now after the last match. Things you have don't have haste anymore.
I like haste. I like haste goblins that give you things that kill you. They're pretty cool. Of course, elephants are pretty cool, too.
Does it have trample?
No, it does not. And it does not get trample.
I'm going to play an island. I'm going to tap for 2 white and a blue. Oh, no. What am I doing? I completely misread that card. And yet I played it before, so I don't understand how I misread it, but it only costs 2. So I'm going to tap 2 white. And bring out the Skyclave Cleric. It's a 1/3. When it enters the battlefield, I gain 2 life. And this is one of the cards that I could flip for land, but luckily I'm not hurting right now for land, so I may regret that. Who knows? I'll pass the turn to you now, sir.
Okay. Untap. Draw. Okay, we'll go to combat.
Okay. Travis, he lived to chump. That was his whole life.
Yeah.
From
Doesn't seem
cradle to grave, chump, chump, chump.
Does not seem to regret it. Okay, I'm going to just pass.
Pass to me? Okay.
Yeah.
Pass to me. Like, pass. Who else are you going to pass to, right? So, okay. I tap for 2. Do I want to do that, Travis? Do I want to do that?
You think I'm sandbagging like a 4-mana 10-4 with trample or something?
I'm just... It's still my turn, right?
Nope. I'm pretty sure that is the universal. You get no end step. No.
Okay, I'm going to actually flip this other Skyclave Cleric.
It's a tough call sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's funny how it's like, it's awesome to have the option, but it tears you up inside.
And I'm going to be torn up by this Skyclave, the Silica. Enters the battlefield tapped, and I can tap it for 1 white. And I'm just going to pass the turn now to you. So.
On your end step.
No, you're not tapping the blue deck. What are you doing?
For the Wildborn Preserver. It's 2/2 with flash and reach.
What is this nonsense where you can do stuff on your end step? That's not, or my end step. That's not how this works.
Whenever another non-human creature enters the battlefield under your control, I may pay X, and when I do, I put X+1 counters on Wildborn Preserver. Untap.
I tell you, Travis.
Okay. Let's get this party started.
Ooh, another land. Boom, that's a 5/5 right there.
A 5/5 right there. Okay, we'll go to combat.
Okay.
So that's 7 in total.
7 in total.
Yeah.
So I'm down to 15, unless you got shenanigans.
New shenanigans.
Okay, so I'm down to 15.
I probably could have done some shenanigans. I like how I have reach in this deck. I'm just noticing a bunch of things with reach here. So we're going to tap...
I have mixed feelings about it, but okay.
3 for the Stone Coil Serpent.
Nice.
So it's going to enter with 3+1 counters on it. And then I'm going to tap 1 to put 1+1 counter on him, because it is a non-human creature. Yeah, because he's an artifact snake thing.
Could you read off the...
Sure. He is an X-costed artifact creature snake. 0/0. Reach, trample, protection from multicolored. That's could be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
He enters the battlefield with X+1 counters on him. So, yeah.
Okay. Still got 1 mana. Do you want to... anything else you want to cast?
No, I need...
On your end step, as it should be, I'm going to tap for 3 and cast Thirst for Meaning. It's an instant, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards unless I discard an enchantment card. So I'm going to draw 3. Right. So let's just go ahead, and I'm just going to discard this Omen of the Sea, which is an enchantment, so I get to keep the other 2. I think that's all she wrote. So untap, draw. I will play a Temple of Enlightenment. Temple of Enlightenment enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, I get to scry 1, and I can tap it for white or blue. So I'm going to scry 1.
Have you gained life this game? You must have, right?
I did at one point, yeah. Okay. I gained life from the Skyclave Cleric.
When he enters the battlefield, right.
Yeah. Right. I think I'm actually going to keep that on top.
I just love keeping your good cards on top.
I'm going to tap for 2 white. Actually, I'm going to tap for 3 white and a blue. And I'm going to Shatter the Sky. Each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater, which Nobody. You do not, right? Draws a card. Then destroy all creatures.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's such a big turn. I just need 1 more turn.
That is my turn. I will pass the turn now to you, sir.
Untap. Draw. Pass.
Oh.
I overextended. That's totally my fault. Oh, I could have kept 1 creature back. I should have kept 1 creature back.
I'm going to play... Oop, I untapped this temple. I'm going to play this temple. It's going to enter tapped. I'll get to scry 1. Put that right on top. I am then going to tap for 2 blue, 2 white, 2 whatever, to bring out Dream Trawler. It's a 3/5 Sphinx. It's got flying, it's got lifelink. Whenever I draw a card, it gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. Whenever it attacks, I draw a card, and I can discard a card, and it gains hexproof until the end of turn.
And you have to 3 tap cards in hand.
Yes. So I'm now going to pass the turn to you.
I need to flip a card and have a quick peek at it.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I'm not casting that. What's due? I mean, I guess I'll have to place one as the land, because it's like a 7 mana costed thing, and I ain't passing that anytime soon. So I'm going to play the Turn Timber Serpentine Wood. It's going to enter the battlefield tapped, because I have no need for its massive amounts of mana. So I'm not going to pay the 3 life. Basically,
okay.
It's a land.
Enters tapped.
Enters tapped, and pass to you.
Pass to me, okay. Alrighty, so draw the card for the turn. Triggers, so it's now a 4/5. I'm going to feel really bad about this play. Even though it's an instant, I'm tapping for 3, including 1 blue, to cast Thirst for Meaning. So I'm going to be drawing 3 cards, and then discard 2 cards unless I discard an enchantment. So that's going to be 3 triggers on Dream Trawler, so it's going to be a 7/5 after this.
It's not like you're making me discard any cards or anything. You can feel bad about that.
I'm going to discard Birth of Meletis, which is an enchantment, so I keep the other 2 cards. I'm going to move to combat.
Yep.
I'm going to swing in. It's going to draw me a card.
7 up to 8.
And then up to 8. So
drop to 12.
And I'm going to go up to 23. I mean, this card costs a lot, but it's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. It has ways to protect itself, too, which is nuts.
Lifelink and protecting itself, yeah. Pretty much once you get that, it's next to impossible unless you're out of cards to get rid of it. But you have so many ways of drawing cards.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Okay. I have stuff with reach, though. Forced to have reach, but past you.
Oh, man. I feel bad. I legitimately feel bad, actually. It's... okay, so draw... Oh, that goes on top there. So draw... So that's currently a 4/5.
And the Stone Coil Serpent has protection from multicolored.
Alrighty. I'm going to... I'm going to play an island. I'm going to then tap for 4, including a blue. And I'm going to cast Behold the Multiverse. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. So scry 2... That one can go on the bottom. This one's going to go on the top. And then draw 2. So 6/5. It's now a 6/5. I'm going to put that in the grave. I'm going to accidentally flip my card over.
So it's a 2/2
now. Move to combat.
No blind.
Swing in, draw a card. So now it's going to be 7/5.
7/5. All right. I again drop down to 5.
7, 8. So I got 8 cards in hand. I got to go up to 30.
Nice, even 30.
And I will discard Birth of Meletis to get down to 7. So now it is your turn, sir.
Get down to 7.
Oh, man.
At least it'll be over soon. At least the pain. And I'll learn from my mistakes of overextending.
Draw. So it's currently a 4/5. I do have one. Okay, so
you gotta draw 1 card, buddy.
Tap for 4. Behold the Multiverse, which will scry 2, draw 2.
Put it right in your bin.
And then and then attack.
Boom.
Yeah.
No,
so
I had a way to protect a guy, but it doesn't do anything to a board wipe. It just gives him hexproof and +1 counter.
Yeah.
And then it was a fight spell. But even the fight spell is so hard because all you got to do is...
That's the thing with this one as well, too, that he protects himself, or she protects himself. I think it's a she. Maybe Sphinxes don't have identity. I don't know. But yeah, it's tough. It's that board wipe was...
And that was entirely my fault, because if I hadn't overextended into it, I could have held back 1, but I wanted the combo of the Wild Boar and Preserver getting the extra +1 counter and then just having like a next attack, and then I'm like, I can protect from the Glass Casket or whatever with that spell because it's hexproof.
It would have also helped as well too if you were able to draw something other than a land for the last few cards, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
what would a 3/3 have done me at that point?
I guess, right? But I mean, so, like again, it's like you have some pretty impressive things there. But even I guess even Garruk would require creatures to really sort of like kick off, right? So. But still, it's just the first game of a best 2 out of 3. So we're going to find out if Travis is able to pull this one out. in the end right now. And we're back with the second game of the 2021 Challenger Decks Showdown Finals. Right now, you're seeing the cards that we sideboarded in and sideboarded out. So I did 4 cards, which, is, an awful lot to sideboard in and out, I think. I think that's a very high number to sideboard in and out, 4 cards. It can be don't usually sideboard in that much many more than 4. Travis, how many do you sideboard in?
Well, first off, I'm a commander player where there's no such thing as sideboard. Second off, I did 9. So 9. But they all seemed really directly focused at exactly what you were doing. Not to tip my hat, but it puts me with a little more confidence going in.
Yeah.
I have ways to be sneaky, not to be as just big green smash necessarily, but a little sneaky.
I don't want you to feel bad about this, but I have an editing sort of shortcut set up to display at most 7 cards on each side. So, I'm just saying.
There's multiple copies of several of them.
Oh, well, that's... Oh,
2
there we go. So
3.
there we go. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Problem solved. So that does make sense. It wouldn't be the full amount. But, Travis... Now, right now, our opening hands are being shown because you already saw now what we sideboarded.
Yes.
We were able to talk through that long enough for that to happen. But did you have to mulligan?
No. Wasn't super awesome, but I felt it was enough to give her.
Neither did I, and it was a very sort of like borderline call on that. So I'm going to just say go ahead and kick things off for us.
All right. Just a forced pass.
Okay, there we go.
I took out 4 copies of the 1/1 who did very little because he was doing very little.
Temple of Enlightenment. So scry 1. Yeah, you know what? That can go back on top and pass the turn to you. Now, most of you know this, but for newer players, when we get to the second game of a match or when we play a card again, we don't read off the card completely. So. No. That's why just Temple, Lightning, and Boom did the thing.
Foresty Boom.
Foresty Boom.
Just Foresty Boom.
So Travis won't be reading off this forest.
No.
So.
Normally I read off these Scavenging Ooze.
There we go.
Who is a 2/2.
2/2.
Pass to you.
Pass to me. On tap. Draw. I will be playing a Plains. And I will be annoying Travis by tapping 2 and putting his ooze in a glass casket.
Don't even get a chance?
Yeah, I feel bad. I do. I really do. It's weird. I shouldn't, but I do. I'm going to pass the turn out to you, sir.
Untap. Draw. Play a forest. Tap 2 to return my ooze to nature. Choose 1.
Ooh.
It's an instant. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or exile target card from a graveyard. I'm choosing to destroy that enchantment.
And then that appears back.
I could, right here, right now, in theory, exile target card from a graveyard if it was a creature card. Well, that's only my +1 counter, so there's no point in doing that. Exile card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, you +1 counter on it. And Scavenging Ooze, and you gain life. So I don't even gain life off it, so we'll just swing with 2.
Now, it comes back into play, as far as I know, with Summoning Sickness. We're just going to pause briefly, because this is actually could be quite important, and I'm going to check that rule right now.
So my poor ooze... Sorry.
Oh, no.
My poor ooze cannot attack, because when an exile creature comes back, it does have Summoning Sickness. So the difference here being as if it was like something like a pacifism.
Yes.
Where he wouldn't have been exiled, but just had an enchantment on him, and I removed that enchantment.
Or there's that, what was it, phasing or something? There's one other weird thing where it's
phasing
like...
is
different, right, yeah. So that's...
Phasing keeps tokens.
But because it was out, it's the same sort of thing if something comes out of the graveyard type of thing. It wasn't in play, so yeah. So sadly, you don't get to attack. But did you want to use its other ability? I guess not, right?
No, okay. I don't have a creature card to give it. Can I do my card? Exile target card from a graveyard. I don't have one, but...
Yeah, but you can do it for mine, right?
Yeah, but again, I need a creature card for it to actually be useful, or something you could target. Like if you do what you did that other game, where it's like you dump your giant awesome creature card in the graveyard, and then you play your Elspeth thing. It's like, oh, look what's resolving here. I might be prepared for that if my ooze sticks around. He's not likely to, but he got back out of that cast.
You never know.
He oozed his way out.
Yeah.
That was my 2 mana for that turn, though, so I pass it back to you.
My turn, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I'm going to play a Plains. Interesting choice. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tap 1 blue and 1 of whatever, and I'm going to foretell Behold the Multiverse. So it was the instance we saw before where you scry 2 and draw 2 cards. But it's foretell during your turn, I may pay 2. Oh, I don't even have to pay the blue, whatever. And exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its foretell cost. So it's going to be exiled face down right there. So I can then cast it later for 1 and a blue.
Now, I believe you don't have to tell me what it is either.
Well, I mean, I have to tell you guys, right? So, but I should have just been like, oh, I'm going to foretell this. You're right. You're absolutely right. So in the future, what's going to happen is I'm going to say, I'm going to foretell something, and then you guys are going to get to see it. But Travis is not.
And it's going to drive me nuts.
Yes.
Because I don't know if it's a counter spell or a bounce creature or something.
This one you know. So, because I screwed up. Travis, I'll pass the turn to you.
Foretell is another one of the, I'm going to pause this, but another one of the mechanics in a set that just happens so fast. I never even really got a chance to, especially we're still in lockdown the time.
It was during our lost year. Yeah. So it's, Yeah.
And I may want to go back some point and look to cool foretell cards. I tapped and I drew there.
Indeed, sir. Well said. Well said.
I'm going to attack you for 2.
Attack me for 2.
Attack you for 2.
I'm not at 30 anymore.
No.
Okay. So I'm down now to 18 because I have a normal life total of 20.
And then what do I want to do?
That's the question that's on all our minds right now, Travis.
I think I just want to pass 2.
I was not expecting that.
No. I don't know if it was the right choice.
Untap.
Trying to got to play a little sneak here.
I don't think you have counter spells, but now I'm really, really worried. I'm going to play a Plains. You have me so thrown now, like with what you just did. I'm truly thrown. I'm going to pass the turn to you.
All right. I'm going to tap 2 on your end step.
You're going to flash out the fox. That's right. Okay.
Well, it's an elf archer, but
yeah,
it means a 2/2 with reach.
But he rides a fox, a giant fox.
A pretty big fox.
Yeah, pretty big fox.
All right, I will untap. I will draw. Okay, gonna go to combat.
Yeah, let's do this.
It's just a 4.
For 4. Okay, down to 14.
And then I'll pass 2.
On your end step, I'm going to tap for 3 to thirst for meaning. So I'm going to draw 3. And I'm going to...
Did you find meaning?
I found some meaning. I'm going to discard Shark Typhoon, which is an enchantment, so I get to keep the rest of the cards. And I'm going to untap. And I'm going to draw. And I'm going to... Oh, I'm not going to flip this. What do I do? This is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to play this as a land. So it's the Skyclave Basilica. So it's going to enter tapped. And I can tap it for white if I want to later. I'm going to tap for 2 white and 2 of whatever and bring out Archon of the Sun's Grace. Flying, lifelink. Pegasus creatures you control have lifelink. Constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. Don't know why I said all that, because I read it off last time. So, Travis, I'm going to pass the turn now to you.
Okay. End step. Tapping 2.
Getting foxy with it.
Now, he is an elf archer, so whenever another non-human creature enters the battlefield under my control, I may pay X. If I do, put X+1 counters on that guy.
Nice.
Boom.
There we go.
You still don't have any creature cards in graveyard, do you? You just discarded 2 enchantments.
Yeah, just enchantments. Nothing but enchantments.
Tap, draw. I'm going to go to combat.
Okie dokie.
Swing with the team.
So I'd be taking 7 in total, correct?
At this point, 2, 4, and 3, yeah.
No blocks.
Okay. Mr. Lifelink.
So I'm taking 7?
Taking 7.
Puts me down to 7.
Couple options here. Gotta think them over.
Take your time.
Guess I'm just going to tap 1 to put my Love-Struck Beast on an adventure.
Ooh.
So Heart's Desire is create a 1/1 human creature. This creature notably does not have reach. Where is she? Where is she? You can't hide from me. Alright, there's my 1/1 human.
There's your 1/1 human.
There's my 1/1 human. Pass 2.
Pass to me. Tap. Draw. Play a Plains, which is not an island. So I've heard. Okay, I'm going to pay 2 white because I got a lot of that. I'm going to Glass Casket, the Preserver with the 1/1 token on it.
Okay. I'm going to tap 1. I'm going to cast Snakeskin Veil. It's an instant plus 1 counter on target creature I control. It gains hexproof until the end of turn.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
So he goes up to a 4/4.
He does.
Put 2 +1 counters on him.
Well, Travis, that was just mean. So this just goes directly to the bin.
It's not a creature card, though.
It is not a creature card, no. I am going to... Interesting. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with my 3/4.
I have no blocks. So I will take 3 down to 17.
I will go up to 10. I will then pass the turn to you.
Untap stuff. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. This is not how I want this to happen. But this is how this has to happen. For 1, I'm going to cast Primal Might.
Okay.
Target creature I control. I'm assuming I'm doing this right. I need to kind of think this through. It's +X, then a turn, and it fights up to 1 creature I don't control. So actually, I guess I'll do it for 2. So he's going to get +1/+1. So he's going to become a 5/5, and he's going to fight your guy. I mean, you're going to gain a life.
Yeah.
Unless you counter it.
In response, I'm going to pay a blue and whatever, and I'm going to flash out Omen of the Sea. I get to scry 2 and then draw a card. So scry 2. I'm actually going to put them back on top like that. And I'm going to draw a card. Constellation is going to trigger. And I'm going to get to create a 2/2 Pegasus. There we go. 2/2 Pegasus with flying. Now, this is the card that gives Pegasus lifelink. So it's not actually going to have lifelink once this leaves the battlefield, which it looks like it's going to. So then the fight commences.
Okay.
I am taking...
Well, hold on. Well, fight happens. Does it get trample?
So, sorry, I mean the creature is taking 5, which is lethal damage, but I'm going to gain 3 because it's doing 3 damage to your creature. So there's 3 damage on that one. I'm up to 13.
Okay. Then we're going to swing away.
Okay. I'm going to put the Pegasus in front of the guy that's got 3 damage on it.
Okay. I will tap 1 to put Snakeskin Veil on that. It'll live because it'll get 1.
Get an additional +1/+1 counter.
Yep.
And then the Pegasus is going to die.
But there is no trample. So you're only taking 4.
Excellent. So I'm down to 9, which is still an awful lot.
Yeah.
It's an awful lot of damage.
Over to you, sir.
My turn. Go. Stays there.
Life gain. Ding dang life gain.
Tap everything and then draw. I'm going to tap for 4. Bring out Archon of Sun's Grace.
No. Well, at least I kept my big guy.
Oh, man. I'm going to then pass the turn to you.
Untap. Draw. 4th land, yeah.
Boom.
Boom. So be it. We're going to go to combat.
Okay.
We're going to swing everything.
The whole kit and caboodle.
The whole
So that's
kit and
1,
caboodle.
2 plus 5.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. I'm going to put Sun's Grace. In front of that fella there.
Okay.
Damage goes through.
Damage goes through.
Okay, so I'm taking 7, 8, and I'm gaining 3, so I'm losing 5. So that puts me down to 4.
My elf archer doth die.
He doth died.
Okay. Then I'm going to tap 3 to bring my love-struck beast away from his adventure.
Okay.
Tap 1 to put another +1 counter on my other elf archer.
Okay.
Over to you, sir.
On your end step, I'm tapping 1 in a blue, and I'm going to, oh, you didn't know this was here. I'm going to Behold the Multiverse, descry 2, and then draw 2 cards. And then put those back on top, and I'm just going to draw them.
Cool, cool.
Cool, 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 cool.
Draw, draw.
So that goes to the grave. This stays here.
Yeah, he's still alive.
And then I untap. And I'm going to draw. Okay, I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with my Grace here.
All right. I do not have a creature with reach right now, so I'm going to take 3.
Yes, indeed.
I will drop down from 17 down to 14.
I'm going to 7. I'm then going to pay 2 white and 3 of whatever to cast Doomscar, sorcery, destroy all creatures. It also has Foretell, but we're not using it for that. So destroy everything, including my Pegasi.
Yep.
And Travis, that is my turn. I will now pass the turn to you.
Untap. Draw. Okay, we will tap 3 for Yoro, Lord of Gardenberg. Gardenberg. He enters the battlefield with 4 +1 counters on him, and whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under my control, green creatures under my control put a +1 counter on Yoro. Then, if that creature's power is greater than Yoro's, put another +1 counter on it. So that's not likely to happen. But I can tap 1 to cast the Chainweb Arachnir, not Arachnid, Arachnir, which will put a +1 counter on Yoro.
Sounds good. My turn?
My turn.
Untap.
You got a mitt full of cards. You might very well have another one of those in there.
Interesting. I'm going to tap for 3. And I'm going to Banishing Light, which we've seen before. I can't remember. If we haven't seen before, it's an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. So I'm going to, yeah.
Basically what happens is he dies, though, because he has no +1 counters on him.
When he exiles... but when he comes back...
Well, I guess he sticks around.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but he enters the battlefield with 4 +1 counters on him.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know.
Okay.
So when he comes back...
Yeah, he will enter.
Yeah, because now he's in sort of a nether state.
Yeah.
That's my turn, Travis. I'm now going to pass the turn to you.
Untap. Okay.
I'm sure I have another blue source somewhere.
Yeah, I still haven't been able to close the deal. You know, that's the other hilarious thing.
Oh, man.
Okay. We will tap 1 for the Lovestruck Beast to put a 1/1 Heart's Desire.
I'm going to actually tap 1 and a white to negate.
Negate.
Yeah.
So what happens then? Does the whole thing hit
that
the bin?
goes to the graveyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is there then.
Yes.
1 mana spent.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll spend 2 to cast Scavenging Ooze.
There we go.
Okay. And I'll swing with my spider.
I mean, that got beeped. So I'm down to 6.
I'm officially out of cards. So I passed you.
My turn.
Okay. At least I do have the escape on my guy too, which is 5, which I do have 4. I'm one off of that. I probably should have mentioned. The Arachnid is not only 1/2 with reach. When he enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its power to a creature with flying and opponent controls. He didn't have any creatures with flying at that point, so it didn't matter. But he does have escape for 3 of anything and 2 green. I can exile 4 other cards to my graveyard, and then when he escapes, he enters with 3+1 counters on him. So when he hits the graveyard, I can spend 5 mana, exile 4 cards, and he will come back as a 3/4, I believe. And then he can deal 3 damage in theory to a creature with flying.
I'm going to tap, even though it's an instant, I'm going to tap for 3, and I'm going to thirst for meaning, but I'm really thirsting for an island. So I'm going to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to discard a enchantment, so I'm going to keep 2 of them. I'm going to play a Temple of Enlightenment, which is going to allow me to scry, which is a blue source.
Still counts.
I'm going to put that on top. Oh, Travis. I'm going to pay 2 white, and I'm going to cast the Birth of Meletus, so I can search my library for a basic Plains card, reveal it, put it into my hand, and then shuffle my library. Search your library for a basic, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. Oh, I should have done that. I left. There's a card on top of here that I wanted. Now I have to search my library, so that sucks.
Crazy scry shenanigans.
So, do I have a Plains left? I do have a Plains left. So there's a Plains. That's going to go into my hand. I'm going to shuffle my deck, which is actually feels quite light. A lot of cards without an island. Yeah, and then we haven't played. I should read up the whole thing because we haven't played it yet. Birth of Meletus. Search your library for a basic Plains card. It's a saga, by the way. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So that was the Plains. Then the second act is create a 0/4 colorless wall artifact creature token with Defender, and then its third act is I gain 2 life. So right now it's currently on Act 1 of this saga, and I'm well tapped out except for one solo Plains. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm okay. I don't have to discard. Pass the turn to you. Am I in trouble?
Watch this. Oh, you're dead. I believe. Okay, 1 mana. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it's a creature card, put a +1 counter on Scavenging Ooze.
Yes.
Untap. I believe. I've never actually played with Scavenging Ooze properly,
yes.
And I think this is how this is going to work, right? Because it's not tap, so now I can do that 4 times if I have 4 more creatures.
Oh, yes!
So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have exactly 4 creatures. So this becomes a 5 +1 counters, 7/7, and a 1/1. You got 1 mountain or 1 Plains. Oh, the sleeper, the Scavenging Ooze. This is why this card is so popular.
Dude, I could not catch a second.
I know, and I still couldn't put you away.
I had Dream Trawler and enough mana ages ago to do it. I needed another island. I can't believe in all that I didn't have another island. So, but yeah, there you go.
Apparently, Scavenging Ooze is actually good.
Yeah.
That's why it's good, apparently.
Yes.
Especially if you're delving your own stuff.
I forgot because you were at the creatures in the graveyard. I completely forgot about that. And it's not a tap ability, and it's not limited to one time per use.
Gain 5 life, but
yeah.
Wow. So that's why that card is. I've always wondered. I'm like, that's kind of cool, but no, it's because it's not tap ability, and you can just activate as much as you want.
No, that's great.
And make a creature strong out of nowhere.
And I will give you as a reward. I'll give you
your creature back.
Arrow back. So there we go, folks.
I won one.
You did. I mean, hey, man, I wasn't.
And it was by sneaky stuff too.
Yeah, it was. Because I didn't know what. Because I could tell you were celebrating when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I'm like, I don't know what he's celebrating. He's got no cards in hand. But then you
didn't play a second blue, so I'm like, I got this. Unless he can gain.
Well, I couldn't. I couldn't because I already played a Temple of Enlightenment. Yeah. So now
that was off of your draw, though, wasn't it? Your Temple of Enlightenment. You drew your cards.
No, I can only play lands on my main phases.
Okay.
I can only do one per.
I know one per. I wasn't sure that resolved, but when you played that, I'm pretty sure because he had.
Well, no, because once I played the Temple, there's no way I could play another island, right?
Yeah.
So, we are going to go to the third game of this match right now, and we're back in the third and deciding game.
There's been a lot of game 3s in this matchup.
Yeah, it's been. These videos have been a lot longer than some matches in the past.
Especially considering mono green aggro and mono red aggro have been involved.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a factor, actually.
That like the last video, I'm actually surprised at the length, that like how long it went because of the mono red. Now, while I've been talking there, and I wasn't just talking in order to give it time to show that I did sideboard a couple more cards. And now that that's been shown, you're seeing what our opening hands are. Now, neither of us mulliganed again.
No mulligans.
This is the other thing as well, too, is there hasn't been a whole lot of mulliganing, which has been good. Now, sometimes it's questionable whether I should have kept my hand or not. This is probably one of them, but after that lack of land, or not any lack of land, lack of islands last time, I wanted to keep this for sure. So I'm going to set my life total back to 20. Thank you very much. I'd hate to start at 6. That'd be bad. And because I lost, I get to go first, which is nice. And I'm going to start off this game like I've started off, I think, every game. And I'm going to play a Temple of Enlightenment. It's going to be battlefield tapped.
It's a nice temple.
I'm going to put that on top. And Travis,
you
pass it to you, sir.
I will draw. I will play a forest. Tap the forest for the Chain Web Arachneer.
I do hate that Chain Web.
He's just a 1/2. No haste, but reach.
But he can come back. And he has come back to ruin my day before, so.
Yeah, it's a nice little ability. It kind of doesn't work with certain strategies, like if you're dumping your own bin. That's less awesome.
I'm going to play a Plains. I'm going to pay 2, and I'm going to...
You're not going to glass casket my
I'm
pen,
going to foretell this card. But I'm not going to foretell Travis what it is. But you guys will see what it is on screen. So, Travis, it is your turn now, sir.
Tap my forest. Draw. Tough call here. I think I'm going to play a forest. I realize that might not seem like a tough call, but when you have those modal dual-face...
Tough call for the mono green deck.
Dual-face lands, sometimes it's tough to decide when to play maybe a potentially tap land. I will pay 2 for the Scavenging Ooze. The rock star from last time.
Yes. The savior.
The savior, yeah. Even I was surprised, like, wait a minute. Yes. In the meantime, I'm going to attack you for one of my little...
4/1. Okay, so I'm down to 19.
My Arachneer. And yeah, that's me tapped out.
That's you tapped out? Okay. This is me untapping. I'm going to play an island.
2 blue sources. Sacre bleu.
And I'm just going to pass the turn to you.
Untap. Draw. Alright. I'm going to go to combat.
Okay.
Swing with both.
So I'm taking 3?
3 damage.
3 damage. I'm down to 16.
Okay. I'm going to flip this for its... it is the Turn Timber Sibbertine. It's the mythic one. I'm going to have Enter tapped and not pay the 3 life.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm going to pay 1. Just I'm doing the Swarm Shallow. We didn't see him yet this time. I think we saw him last time maybe. He enters the battlefield with a +1. I'm like, do I got to tap to get a counter on the guy? No, he gets 1 for free. Look at him. He enters with 1/+1/+1 counter on him. Whenever a creature I control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes a target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 insect creature token.
Nice.
I can also pay 1, tap him, and put a +1 counter on him. That resolves?
That resolves, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I will also tap another one to put the Lovestruck Beast.
That, sadly, I'm going to have to negate.
Lovestruck Beast hits the bin. Hashtag Beast in the bin.
That's a real hashtag, guys.
Yeah.
Check it out. Check it out.
And if it isn't, make it hashtag happen.
It should be. Right.
Hashtag happen. That's a thing, right? That's what the kids are saying.
I'm going to play an island. And look at my foretell card. I'm going to pay 2, and I'm actually going to foretell another card. So again, you guys are seeing what it is. Travis is not so lucky. And Travis, I pass to you.
All right. Untap. Draw. Okay. Gonna go to combat.
Okay.
William Shatner style, apparently. So we were attacking with a 1/2, a 2/2, and a 1/1.
So 4 in total.
Look out.
That's going to put me down to 12.
And then we are going to tap 3 for the Kazoo Mammoth. It is a creature spell. It is a 3/3 elephant. It has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under my control, he gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. So
Okay.
that's where I'm at. Past you.
On your end step, I am paying 2. And, make sure it's the right one, I'm going to pay the foretell cost of Behold the Multiverse. So I'm going to scry 2 and then draw 2 cards. I'm going to put this one on top, this one on bottom, and then I'm going to draw 2. Okay. And then I'm going to untap. That goes to the bin. Then draw a card. I'm going to play this as a land, much like yours. I could enter... it's the Amira Shattered Skyclave. As it enters the battlefield, I can pay 3 life. If I don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. And that's exactly how it is going to enter. Tapped. I will then... pay 2 white and 2 whatever to shatter the sky.
I knew it.
Now, none of those have 4 health or 4 power, right?
No.
Okay.
Before anyone out there gets upset, he's down to 12. I know I overextended for the second game, but he was down to 12.
You also won the second game, right? So
yeah. On like turn 20 or something like that. But I'm like,
still, there's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
I knew you were there, and I knew you had those drawing spells. Or I assumed those foretells were. So I'm like, it was a tough call. I decided, you know where I'm at.
No one faults you, Travis. No one out there.
There's some out there that
is
like,
judging you for that. So, I mean, you also got cards in hand, so you could have a reload of creatures immediately next turn for all we know, right?
Yeah, I could. Probably don't.
I feel so bad.
No, why?
I'll pass the turn to you.
Again, sir. No one's making you make me overextend. Because I
just feel mean.
Play a forced. Tap 2. Scavenging Ooze.
Nice.
All right. Pass to you.
Pass to me. Tap.
I know.
Draw.
I know. I got greedy. I tend to.
I'm going to play an island. I'm going to pay 2 white. And I'm going to put your ooze in a glass casket. Now, do you have anything you want to respond first?
I do not. Unfortunately,
okay.
Unfortunately, I do not. Which is also why I've been playing pretty loose with the mana. Not saving 1 for certain things, because I didn't have anything.
I'm going to then pass the turn to you.
Okay. Tap. And now we're in trouble. Play another forest. Pass.
Pass to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I could have saved 1 creature. I didn't have to put them all down. I did save 1, but I should have known 1 creature isn't enough to save. You got to save 2.
I'm going to play a Tranquil Cove. And that is going to enter the battlefield tap. I'm going to gain 1 life. I'm going to pay 4 to bring out Archon of Sun's Grace. We saw it before. It's the Pegasi. And I pass the turn to you.
On your end step, I will tap 1 to run afoul. Target opponent sacrifice a creature with flying.
Okay.
Damn, you got the other one, don't you? You had that other flyer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dang it.
I'm going to pass the turn to you.
I just sheer curiosity, can I escape at instant speed? Or is escape sorcery?
That is an excellent question.
4 cards from your graveyard. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its escape cost.
I believe because it's a creature card, it will have to be sorcery speed. But we're just going to do a quick rule check, and we'll be right back. So we just checked it, and escape can only be done on the same phase that the card itself dictates. So a sorcery or a creature can only be cast in the main phase, or an instant can be cast whenever. So, sorry, Travis.
Nah, it's okay. Untap. Draw. Play that. And I guess we're going to attempt to do that, I think, because I have literally nothing else to do. So I'm going to tap for 5.
Ooh.
Which is the escape cost of my Arachneer here. So escape is exile 4 other cards from your graveyard. So I'm going to do this as best I can to save creatures, which is not very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4 I'm choosing. It escapes with 3+1 counters on it, and then I could have done that better. I really could have just waited until my turn and bonked that. But the truth be told, for whatever reason, I thought his power would have been 1 less. So there's another mistake. But there's 5. It's a spell.
Yeah, it's still a creature spell. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not an ability of the creature. It's
no, you're casting it for its. It even says right. You
exile 4 the cards from graveyard. You may cast this card from your graveyard. Yeah. Okay. So.
But I'm not countering it. So.
Fair enough. But it's, again, good to know out there.
Yeah, exactly.
People all know this because these decks been around for a while. Okay.
My turn?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to untap everything. I'm going to draw.
I wasted a kill flying creature, which is totally going to come back and bite me.
I will play a Plains. Now, you want to talk about potentially wasteful things, Travis.
That was a very wasteful play.
I am going to tap for 3 white, and I'm going to foretell Doomscar. Destroy all creatures. Now, it seems silly to do that for 1, but that's a big creature, and because currently you don't have cards in your graveyard to exile, you can't come back. So, I will then pass the turn to you.
That one had foretell. I'm pretty sure his foretell ones only have scry draw.
Back to me.
Back to you until I find a way to get more cards in my bin.
Draw. Okay, I'm going to pay 2 white and then 3 whatever to bring out Elspeth Conquers Death. Now, the first one is exile target permanent and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. There's no permanent in play, so that's not going to happen. So it's just going to play out eventually as it plays out. Going to pass the turn now to you.
I got good cards in this deck.
You do. You actually got a lot of good cards in that deck.
Forests are great cards. Pass to you.
I'm going to tap for 3 on your end step and cast Thirst for Meaning. So draw 3 cards and discard 2, unless I discard an enchantment.
And that is the number one thing I've noticed. And again, these decks, there's no card draw. No impulsive, no...
For the green, yeah.
I mean, Arachneer is what you got.
It would make sense. Like, Garrick's Uprising I understand apples and oranges, Planeswalker decks, Challenger decks, but Garrick's Uprising fueled that deck.
Yeah.
So having something like that in a deck like that could be really, really important.
Or Rise of the Wild Speaker, which is also from Throne of Eldraine. It's draw cards equal to target creature's power, or creatures you control get +2/+2.
Yeah.
Like, it literally fuels the green thing, and is not in this deck.
Fuels the big green monster.
Yeah, or even, like, if you got, like, a whole bunch of little guys, you buff them up. I don't think it gives trample, but...
Upkeep, Saga goes to 2. So non-creature spells that your opponent cast cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. Now, you got plenty of mana, so that shouldn't really make too much of a difference. I'm actually, because this is driving me nuts, I can't imagine what other people are thinking. I'm going to quickly reorder my land here, because I have issues with that. And... I am going to pass the turn to you.
You're not awesome, though. I'm going to pay 1 to attempt to cast the Swarm Shambler. Go ahead. You know you want to counter that bad boy. Go ahead, put him in my bin. Put him in that bin. Fuel my graveyard shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm going to neutralize it.
All right.
So,
sorry. 2 away.
Sorry. Got a card in hand.
I do have a card in hand. But, yeah.
My turn?
It is your
Or,
turn.
On your end step, paying 2. I'm going to cast Omen of the Sea, which we've seen a bunch of times now. So I'm going to scry 2. And I'm going to put that on the bottom. I'm going to put that on top. And I'm going to draw a card. Okay, so now it's my turn?
Yes.
Okay, so untap. Draw. This goes to 3.
It sure does.
So return target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard to the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
I mean, at least it's not that really bad one. Just that mostly bad one.
There we go. So Archon of Sun's Grace is now back with a +1/+1 counter on it.
Do you have any mill cards up in that?
That's what Conquer's Death goes to the graveyard. And that has Summoning Sickness, obviously. I already drew a card, so I don't know why I was going to draw another card. I'm going to...
You're just used to it, apparently.
I should just be able to draw whatever I want, Travis. Pass the turn to you.
Bloop, bloop. Replurp. Tapping 3. Thrashing Brontodon.
So I'm going to tap 2 blue and 1 white, and I'm going to neutralize that.
I believe I'm still off, because obviously I can't, exile him. So we're at 1 off. All right.
I'm going to pay 1 and a blue, and I'm going to flash out Omen of the Sea. So I'm going to scry 2 and then draw a card. That's going to go on the bottom. That's going to go on top. And then I draw the card. Now, it's Constellation, so an enchantment did enter the battlefield.
Does that make it a consolation prize? Bam! Booyah!
Then continue. This is still your end step, right?
Yeah, it's still
Continuing on your end step, I'm going to tap 3 blue, and I'm going to sacrifice Omen of the Sea to scry 2. Put that like that. And then I'm going to untap.
Yep.
Draw. I'm going to move to combat.
Okie dokie.
And I swing in with a 4/5 and a 2/2.
So I'm taking a total of 6.
And I'm going to go up to 19 because they both have lifelink.
Drop down to 14. Both have lifelink.
I'm then going to pay 2 blue, 2 white, 2 of whatever to bring out the Dream Trawler.
Even if I get.
I think we've seen this game, right? Already? Dream Trawler? So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Flying, lifelink, all that good stuff. And I will pass the turn to you, sir.
Because, that one says, target opponent sacrifice a creature, which is good because it can get past that, thing.
Yeah.
But you also have other creatures sacrifice.
I'm essentially like a chump sacrifice if I need it, so.
All right, I'm going to tap 2 to cast Return to Nature, destroy target artifact.
Okay.
So I'm going to destroy the glass casket.
So then your Scavenging Ooze returns.
Does return. Now, I believe I've hit that magic number. 4 cards. So we're going to tap 5 to hit the escape cost.
Okay.
Of course, there were all my ways of giving my ooze random +1 counters. Now, he does escape, though, with 3 +1/+1 counters on him. So he enters as a 4/5. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. And he gets to deal damage equal to his power to target creature I control. Now, you can easily drop one there.
Yeah,
doesn't do enough to that one.
It does have the ability if I discard a card, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't basically target it. That one is 1 power too many because it's now 5 toughness, so I will target your...
Makes sense. And it's not fight, right? It deals direct damage to it, so...
Yeah.
So I don't gain the benefit of lifelink there.
Deals as power equal target. Yep.
Okay.
That's you.
I do not have enough
creatures back.
Mana left up to sacrifice that, so I'm just going to untap everything. Now that has reach as well, too, right?
It does, yeah.
Draw a card.
But ironically, it's just not tough enough to go toe-to-toe with either of you guys.
I'm going to tap 2, and I'm going to Glass Casket your Spider.
Also that.
So...
You couldn't even give me the option of blocking and letting it die a legitimate death and putting it in my graveyard and being able to do that 5 turns from now, maybe?
Sorry. I'm going to move to draw step happened. So this is currently 4/5. And that's the only card that I've drawn. So I'm going to move to combat.
Yep.
And swing in for 8 by air.
That's the drop all the way down to 6.
And I'm going to go up to 27. I'm then going to pay, oops, no, that's too much. Pay 2 and 2 white to bring out another Archon of Sun's Grace. Pass turn to you.
Where's my destroy all creatures with flying? There's got to be one in this deck, right? Rip Tongue Hydra, Commander card. No, I mean he in theory can come out. I'll tap 3. For
okay.
Yorvo. He will come out with 4+1 counters on him.
Sounds good.
Then I'll tap 3 to cast Clean Ambush. I mean, you're going to get a fight off of it, so you're going to get your lifelink in theory, unless you want to counter that.
No.
All right, so target creature I control fights creature I don't control. So 4 versus 3/4.
So that lives,
life,
this
that
dies.
lives.
I do gain 3 life.
Yeah.
So that puts me up to 30.
Now that's a consolation prize. Otherwise, though, the poor noble does not have reach. Neither does my ooze, so I pass to you.
Pass to me. Untap. Draw, which triggers the Trawler. So right now, both 4 power, both by air. Move to combat. And swing in.
That's that.
Okay, so now that we've played these decks a bit, this deck, I felt like the mono green deck was a good counter to the Dimir deck. I thought that was sort of like a good sort of back and forth deck. This one, I mean, even though you had certain flyers hate sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
I find this deck to be especially effective against the green Stompy deck because there's so much mass creature hate.
Yeah.
Whereas this deck is all about getting that 1 or 2 creatures which make the impact and then wiping everything else off the board. So, I mean, you did have that amazing game last turn where the Scavenging Ooze just sort of pulled it out. But yeah, this one, and again, people love or hate control. So there is going to be, I think, some back and forth in the comment section with people who are not crazy about, and trust me, I get it. I understand what it's like to sit there after a while and it just be like, I'm building up counter spells in my hand.
Yeah.
And then it just makes it so that you don't get to play.
Well,
but it takes a while, right? So
it's not just the control, it's the combo of the control and the card filtering and the card drawing. Not just even,
yeah.
It wasn't like one draw, one card. It's search 2, put 1 back. Doesn't matter because you got that one you need to keep the things at bay. So it's just a good combo of draw and the control.
Yeah. I was finally able to use Foretell, which I hadn't been able to use before. Yeah. And like Foretell with things like Behold the Multiverse is great, and as well too the board wipe is great. But yeah, there's so much card draw in this that even when I started off with something where I didn't have a whole lot of one particular thing, I think it was removal, I had card draw. So it's like you can get into that sort of thing. And the second game, what held me back was I couldn't even activate multiple card draws at a time because only 1 blue source. Whereas like Omen of the Sea, even though I sideboarded a couple of these out, Omen of the Sea, I am surprised at how useful that card's been. So
because it's enchantment too, so once you get that going, it's at the very least it'll get you hopefully an occasional 2/2 flyer.
Yeah. Now, what's going to be interesting is to watch this deck square off against the current champion of the other Challenger decks, because those other Challenger mono red decks are vastly different than this mono red deck, and I think they're going to kick this deck's butt. So that's going to be a future video. Like I said, I'm not sure when this is being released. There might have been a pause in between, or this was released back to back with the previous Challenger deck match. But that match, the sort of the Battle of Champions, will most likely be coming either next week or the week after, depending if we've done our pre-release kits for Midnight Hunt. So I think that's it for now. I think we're running out of camera memory. So Travis, anything you want to say before we go?
Nope.
No? There we go, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks for all support you've shown since we've come back, because it's completely blown me away. And the comment section is filled with such a positive group of people. You guys are a great community. I'm pleased to call you all Brainiacs, and I will see you all again in the next video.